Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, and my friends, sad times yet again. The Street Fighter 6 beta came back to us for just a little bit, but now it is gone once again. Now, was the beta effectively the same as the last beta in terms of like gameplay balance, character spread, all that kind of stuff? Yeah. Other than a few very small tweaks, it was basically the exact same beta. But still, as we can all agree, at its core, it's just a fun game, right? So even if it doesn't quite have that new shine anymore like it did in the first beta, was still very happy to see it come back and very sad to see it go. Now that all said, because we have a second at-bat as it were with the game, it does give us a chance to kind of build further impressions of the game. So during the end of the last beta, I made a video about just all my thoughts and impressions of Street Fighter 6, and this is going to be much the same. Now, some of these thoughts are just completely unchanged, so let's just lay it out really quick. The netcode? Great. World class, even. I have played against a lot of people over the course of this beta, and from all over the world, and it hangs. It really does. Now, as always, good netcode doesn't save a bad connection, right? I had a few less than desirable matches, let's put it that way. But overall, it's just good, man. Just like last beta, I had matches from Canada to Japan, and it worked out great. I've had Canada to Australia, Great Britain, all that kind of stuff, and it just works. Sometimes, especially when you're halfway across planet Earth, the ping's a bit high, but it holds up. Netcode is thankfully one of the things in this game we just really don't gotta worry about. Other things that remain good, stuff like the lobby system, you know, just the arcade laid out everywhere, the various video screens, all that kind of stuff. They want that as a place where you can just kind of hang out and be silly, and I think it will fulfill exactly that purpose. So I think it works. It's good. Character selection, still a little bit of a gripe. Like you can see, I've been playing Luke in this round of the beta, mostly because I got nobody else to play. We have Shotos represented, your all-rounders. We have Rushdown represented. We have Mix-Up represented. We have Zoning represented. And any kind of grappler or big boy style of playstyle is just not to be found. Hopefully in the future there is an open beta with more characters to pick from, and that will be alleviated, but I still found that a little bit frustrating in this beta as well. Now, one of the bigger things that happened to me during the course of this beta is some realizations, I guess. Things I thought about on paper from the first beta, and I didn't really necessarily realize in game. And I tried out in game, I'm like, oh, it's really good. And one of those is drive, rush, and neutral. For the cost of a singular bar, just being able to work your way in is very, very strong. For Luke specifically, I was doing a lot of just drive, rush canceling into low, into a hit confirm, or just into a stand medium, which has incredible range for its speed. And it's just good, because for one bar, either I get my hit, and then I get a combo. Specifically, Luke, stand medium will go into his light medium heavy target combo, if it connects with the drive rush, thanks to the additional frames it gives. Or it's my turn, because it's plus, right? Because it gives plus 4 frames on block as well. So either way, it's just kind of works out for me, right? So using and abusing that to a degree made me wonder if almost it might be too strong, because for a single bar, just to say I get to teleport across the screen and it's my turn, that's a pretty good price. I'll pay that price every single time, you know? So as it stands, it's half a bar for the parry, then another half bar to cancel into the drive rush dash. So maybe it should be like a bar and a half or something. I don't know, but it just seems something as I used it more and more and more, it just got stronger and stronger and stronger. And at this point, I'm like, man, why would I kind of do anything but? Now, it's certainly not be all end all, because if you want to be predictive about it, or if you just want to react to the flash, if they stick out their own appropriate button, they can poke you out. Although, once again, it has to be appropriate button. And, you know, you just can't do it while projectile's on the screen, because you'll just dash face first and projectile and get smacked, so that's not going to work. But still, it just seems really good. As long as you have a quality button, or a quality low at the very least, something quick to nab people with, it seems like one of the best ways to approach. And that's probably very intentional, and we'll get used to the drive system as a whole more and more and more as we play. But now in this second beta, as I started just using it a lot, just seems really good. Now, the other thing to come back to is drive impact. So from the last beta, I was pretty clear in that I didn't like it. And I'm just going to put it out there. I still don't, to be honest. I do think something has to give. I don't know what at this point anymore, but something's got to give. Because I still think it is too much for a single bar. 2 hits of armor, if you get the counter hit, it is a full combo, and it's probably going to be your best combo your character can pull off. Bounces near the corner, even if the opponent blocks. And it can bounce from very far away, like unfairly far away, almost, I would say. Now, this is stuff you've heard before from a lot of sources, right? So I don't want to belabor the point too much. But here's my realization I came to. It's one of those things, well, this, that, and the other, you don't like it for this reason or the other. You know, just play around with it, and we'll get more used to it. And absolutely, I was a victim less of Drive Impact this beta, much less so than the first beta, because I learned to play around it. I learned what worked, what didn't work. I learned if I was expecting it to use different normals that were special cancelable so I could Drive Impact back, this, that, and the other, right? So yes, I have learned to live with it and play around with it and deal with it in a lot of ways. But here is the thing that I realized. Who actually likes it? Like, legitimately. We all say, okay, well, you know, if you struggle, whatever, you just got to learn. That's great. That's great. But who actually likes it? Think of it that way. As far as Drive Impact goes, it's been overwhelmingly negative at all levels of play. But no one's out there saying, man, don't I just love that Drive Impact. No one's a fan of the mechanic. Drive Rush, I like it. Parrying coming back, love it. That's great. All these things about Drive System, I do like. But Drive Impact, I don't like it. Do you like it? Will you tell me I got to play better against it? I'm just too scrubby? Sure, absolutely, right? Maybe I'm too scrubby. But who actually likes the mechanic as it currently stands? That's what I'm trying to say. And when a mechanic is, as far as I am seeing, universally disliked, that means, once again, something's got to give. It is less a matter of get good scrub and more a matter of this just isn't fun. So take it as you will. Once again, I'm just standing on the side of I'm not a fan of the mechanic and I would like to see something about it weakened so it becomes just more fun to play against. That's basically where I'm at because it just isn't that fun to play against right now. So now, on the flip, something I would like to see just a bit stronger, actually, is the perfect parry mechanic. So parrying coming back, I think, is very interesting, and the perfect parry mechanic is about as hype as you would expect. It is very exciting to see, you know, the screen stop, the big flash, all that kind of stuff, then someone gets a combo. And yes, it does scale, and I think the scaling of the combo is a good idea to a point. Because I've seen like, oh man, I got my big combo going. I'll do a super at the end, something like that. And it does like no damage. And that's a bit underwhelming. Like if I get the perfect parry and I get the combo in, like I expect it not to do much, but sometimes I'm just wildly underwhelmed by what I'm actually seeing. So I do think curtailing the damage after a perfect parry is a good idea, because if it wasn't, I'd feel like that'd be one of the biggest things we're complaining about. So damage reduction, yes, sure, absolutely. But maybe just ease up just a little bit on it, man, because it's really underwhelming. It's also, if I get perfect parry and I get bopped, the damage is so underwhelming, I don't feel like I really lost out that much either, right? I don't feel too discouraged. Like, theoretically, if someone was so good at perfect parries that, like, you'd really, really, really have to watch out, the damage is so low, I'd just be like, you know, I'll take my 15%, and then we reset back to neutral, and I'm good, right? So, damage relaxing on perfect parry, I think, is fine to a degree. Just a little bit. Don't go too nuts, but just let people get a couple more points of damage in. Besides that, just some character notes, as I did play quite a bit of Luke, and Luke really highlighted one of the issues of the game. I did make a video about it some months ago during the first beta, but how almost everything is negative on block, and Luke seems to be the one character with the most amount of plus frames. His crouch medium punch is +1, his forward heavy punch is +2 on block, and his full charge flash knuckle, the heavy version, is +4 on block. And most everyone else has like 1 or 2 plus moves, and that's about it. And it makes me wonder how the game's going to shape up. Will that be the case for everyone across the board? Because I especially look at someone like E Honda, right? Will like 100 hand slaps, like will all of those be negative on block? That'd be kind of really weird for him. And just how the game will shape up. One thing I meant to do that I didn't wind up doing too much is the idea of using parries to steal turns back. Because ideally, if everything's negative, you wait your turn, You know they're going to hit a button after the fact. You parry, try to steal the turn back, go from there, right? The thing is, though, we're all mashing too much in the beta, so it just doesn't really come up. But it's certainly just a very interesting design decision. Luke also seemed inherently more aggressive than some of the other characters, and I think the plus frames are a big factor in that. So maybe going forward, that will determine a lot of the characters. Like, if you have a lot of plus frames and you're more aggressive, this, that, and the other. It's still just such a shift, right? Because, like, lights are negative. Like, you can chain lights, yes, but a light by itself is negative on block, when that's not the case, really, for other Street Fighters. So I guess time will tell. But in this early mashing phase, it doesn't matter too much, where we're all just smashing buttons as hard as we can. But as the game evolves, I would very much like to see where that goes. And speaking of the game evolving, so with the latest character reveals, Marissa specifically, we learned that she has an armor break mechanic. And at least as far as we know of the characters that are currently shown, that is unique to her. So the question is now, is there going to be more characters that fundamentally break the rules of the game? Like for Drive Impact, she can just do her move, the Gladius, and if it's fully charged, apparently going by the trailers, she can just break Drive Impact wide open, no big deal. And that obviously is not something other characters can do. So potentially maybe some of the as of yet unrevealed characters might also have armor breaks, or just all new gameplay mechanics that make us change our ideas of how the game might work. For a lot of people, just to go by the comments I've had in videos over various Marissa videos, a lot of people who did not care for Drive Impact look as Marissa as their savior character. Like, I don't like Drive Impact, so if I pick Marissa, I got to deal with it less. And fair enough, because that looks like that's part of her game plan. So basically, I'm just really looking forward to seeing various levels of inventiveness that are as of yet unshown. Like one in particular, E-Honda. So 100 hand slap, just by the animation, still does a heck of a lot of hits, right? And how is that going to work on block? Is he the character that like drains you of your drive meter? Because the more you block, the more drive meter you lose. And if he's just hitting you with 100 hand slaps and they're like 10 hits separately on block, will he just run through your bar faster than every other character? And that's his game plan. Like against Honda, you just want to be not in the way, because if you're blocking against Honda, you're still losing. These are the kind of things on my mind right now, so I don't know. But yeah, just really looking forward to the future of the rest of the cast and seeing what's possible there. But now, at the end of this second beta, basically the way I look at Street Fighter 6 is it's pretty much almost perfect, honestly. Other than quibbles with Drive Impact, and I think potentially Drive Rush might be a little too strong in the future, and Parry could be a little bit better. I think we're just about where we need to be, right? Like, it's a solid 9 out of 10 already. Very rarely does a game look so polished and complete in these, betas, as it were. But I think the future is going to be a very, very bright one for Street Fighter 6. And whatever quibbles we have along the way, I'm pretty sure they'll be addressed, because Capcom is building a home run of a game. That's the way I'm looking at it. So that all said, if you were in beta number 2 yourself, please post in the comments below. What did you like about the game? If there's anything you didn't like about the game, let us know. And other than that, we gotta wait like 6.5 months to launch, which is gonna be a long ways away. But I'm very confident Papa Capcom will be very nice, show us a Christmas miracle, and give us an open beta with more characters along the way. But until then, my friends, we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Street Fighter.